Have you ever looked at a pro runner's training plan and just thought, what on earth is going on here? All those different paces, weird exercises, and super specific times can feel like you're trying to crack some kind of secret code. But here's the thing. That complexity? Well, that's where the magic is. Today, we're going to pull apart one of those workouts piece by piece and show you the powerful logic that makes it all tick. Okay, let's just dive right in. What we're looking at is one single, really important day of training. It's week 11, so we're right in the specific peak phase for a runner who's aiming for a 1 hour 32-minute half marathon. And this day has two big parts, a controlled 16-kilometer run followed by some very specific strength work. We're talking neuromuscular stuff, which is really just a fancy way of saying we're making the connection between the brain and the muscles faster and stronger.
I know at first glance it might look like a random bunch of things to do, but this workout is actually a perfectly designed puzzle. Every single piece, from the exact pace of the run to the kind of squat they're doing, has a very specific job. So over the next few minutes, we're going to solve this puzzle together, and you'll see exactly how all these pieces fit together to build a faster, stronger runner. So this entire day is built on 4 pillars. And listen, the order here is absolutely crucial. It's not random. First, you've got the controlled long run to build that deep aerobic endurance. Then, immediately after, we layer on elastic power with exercises like bounds. This teaches the body to stay springy even when it's tired. Third, we hit the unilateral strength with Bulgarian squats to build rock-solid stability. And finally, we wrap it all up with mobility and core work to kickstart recovery and really lock in all those strength gains. You can't mix and match these. The sequence is everything.
And this idea here, it's really the heart of it all. This philosophy from the Hanson's method says it all. It's not about just grinding out junk miles or lifting the heaviest weight you can. Every single part of this day, every kilometer, every jump, every rep, it has a clear why. It's all designed to build you up, both in your head and in your legs, for race day. No fluff, no wasted effort.
Now, to really understand why this one single day is so brilliant, we have to zoom out. We need to see the bigger picture. Because this workout isn't just a one-off. It's a critical piece of a much larger blueprint for success, a concept that we call periodization.
So, what in the world is periodization? Well, think of it like this. Imagine you're a chef cooking for a huge event. You don't just throw all the ingredients in a pot at once and hope for the best, right? Of course not. You have phases, the prep, the cooking, the plating, all timed perfectly. Periodization is the exact same thing for an athlete. It's the art of structuring your training into clear phases so you hit your absolute peak on race day, not 2 weeks early or a week late.
And this is what that journey looks like. A whole training plan, or macro cycle, is broken down. You start with a nice long base phase, just building that big aerobic engine with lots of easy miles. Then you shift into the build phase, where you start adding in that race-specific intensity. And our workout from week 11? Boom! It lives right here, in the peak phase, where the work is the most focused. And finally, you get the taper, where you ease off the gas to show up to the starting line fresh and ready to fly.
So you might be asking, is all this planning really worth the hassle? Well, the numbers don't lie. Research has shown that runners who follow a structured, periodized plan can improve by 8 to 12%, compared to people who just kind of go out and run. I mean, that is a massive difference. It's the ultimate proof that it's all about training smarter, not just harder.
Okay, so let's zoom the camera back in now and focus on that 16-kilometer run from our workout. Because it's not just about covering the distance. The paces inside that run are what it's all about. Each one is designed to tune a very specific part of your body's engine. Think of this chart like the different gears in your car. Your easy pace, that's first gear. It builds your foundation and lets you recover. Marathon pace is your highway cruising gear, all about efficiency. Then you have threshold pace, which is like your passing gear. It teaches your body to handle being comfortably hard. And finally, interval pace, well, that's putting the pedal to the floor to boost your engine's absolute max power, your VO2 max.
So let's apply that to our 16K run. It's a progressive run. The runner starts the first few kilometers super easy, around 5:40 per K, just to get everything warmed up. Then they click into their goal marathon pace for the big middle chunk, locking into that 5:25 to 5:30 rhythm. This teaches the body and brain exactly what race day is going to feel like. In the last few kilometers, they nudge the pace down to 5:20, but, and this is key, they stay below that really hard threshold effort. This whole structure is a masterclass in making you more fuel efficient and building serious fatigue resistance. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time tuning the engine,
But a Ferrari engine is pretty useless if it's sitting in a flimsy car frame that's going to fall apart. That's where the second half of this workout comes into play. Now, we're talking about building the chassis, a resilient, powerful body. So many runners just skid strength training, and honestly, it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And let's be clear, this is not about getting bulky. It's about becoming more efficient and more durable. Good strength work actually helps you use less energy at any given pace, and it builds tougher tendons and bones that can handle the pounding of running. Plain and simple, it makes you more bulletproof.
And the exercises here aren't random. They are laser-focused. First, we have bounds. This is a plyometric drill that basically makes your legs springier. You get more free energy return with every single footstep. Then you have Bulgarian split squats. This is a single leg exercise. And think about it. What is running? It's just a series of one-legged hops over and over again. So this exercise builds strength and stability exactly where you need it to prevent your form from breaking down late in a race.
Okay, so with all this running and jumping and lifting, how do coaches make sure they're not pushing an athlete too far, too fast? Well, they use some really cool tools, like this one, the acute to chronic workload ratio. I know, it's a mouthful, but the idea is actually super simple. It just compares how much work you've done this week, that's your acute load, to your average over the last month, your chronic load.
And the goal is to live in that sweet spot. If your ratio gets too high, say above 1.5, you're ramping up way too quickly and you're basically asking for an injury. But if it gets too low, well, you're not doing enough to actually get better. A smart training plan keeps you right in that perfect zone, making sure you're always progressing safely.
So there you have it. We have officially deconstructed the puzzle. We've seen how one single day fits into a huge plan, how every pace has a job, and how strength is non-negotiable. So now, let's boil all of this down into a simple blueprint that you can use to think about your own training.
Here it is, your smart training toolkit. It's 3 simple things. First, see the big picture. Your training needs phases, a purpose, a plan. Second, know your paces. Stop going out and running every day at the same medium-hard pace. Use all the gears. And third, build a strong body. Make strength and power work a consistent part of your routine. It'll make you more efficient and way more injury-resistant.
You know, when you really think about it, a training plan is so much more than just a schedule. It's a story. It's the story of how your body adapts, how it gets stronger, faster, and tougher. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Take a look at your own training. Is it telling the story of random, chaotic effort, or is it telling a smart, purposeful story of adaptation? What story do you want yours to tell?